Welcome, everybody, to a Delco Nerd Network Rewind review, where we sit down and talk about some of our favorite film franchises of the past. On this season, we are discussing the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. On this episode, it is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Anthony the Gooch Ragucci.
I don't got a good one, so what's up, guys?
Casey Wellman.
Yo.
Matthew Penza.
What is
Mr.
up?
Matt Penza, Mr. Case Wellman, Casey Wellman, or Case. I shorten things
I get
sometimes.
it all.
And Mr. Anthony Gucci. Guys, I'm excited to talk about this one. Initially released in December 11th, 2007.
Did you say we were watching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Sorry.
screwing with my flow, man.
did.
All right, we got to restart. No, I'm
Pay
kidding.
attention.
Like I said, initially released December 11th, 2007 with a rating of PG-13 with a production budget of $150 million, which was about the same as Goblet of Fire, which I thought was interesting, with an opening weekend at the box office of $77.1 million. That's a bit of a drop
That's a dip.
from Order of the Phoenix.
And that's
From Goblet of Fire.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
and
Yeah,
that's
from Goblet of Fire.
that's strange to hear from this.
What? What's the date? Do you have the date by any chance?
For that, it was released
Yeah.
December 11th. So it was December. I mean, those still do pretty well, like
Right
Christmas
before
time movies and
Christmas.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Goblet of Fire had an opening weekend of $102 million. So a pretty steep
77, is that what you said?
77. Yes.
Shit.
Yeah, so pretty steep drop off from that. But a total box office of
I was there,
939. There, man. 939.6 million, which is actually more than Goblet of Fire.
You know,
so it's weird how
it
kind
could
of
have had a
balances out.
big like Christmas week box office.
Maybe-
I think these had
there's
good
something else.
longevity too.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to- I'm like, I wasn't kidding. I was there. Midnight. Like, I know I went to that.
Yeah.
I
For
don't
sure.
know.
I'm like, oh, I don't even.
I don't think I
Trying to
saw
think.
that opening
I
night.
probably
I did.
saw
I
it in
saw it
theater,
midnight.
but I don't think I saw it. I mean, I didn't see any of them opening night, but I don't know if I saw this in theaters. I probably
Yeah,
did.
you
I
did.
think
You
I saw this.
With you?
You saw, yeah, we went and saw part 1 or 2.
No,
Definitely
no,
part 1
no,
or
no,
2.
no. I mean, just Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, well, okay. I thought you said that you didn't go. Okay, I
No.
get you.
Okay.
Yeah. I was about to say something.
I'm talking about numbers.
It's
Yeah.
gone. There was another numbers. Oh yeah. If you're interested in box office stuff, just a quick sidebar. Dan Merle on YouTube. I really like his YouTube channel. He used to be on Screen Junkies.
No free ads. No free ads.
But like, no, if you like are
Where's our
really
fucking
interested
money?
in like just box office breakdowns, which I don't know why for some reason over these past like couple weeks I have been. He does really good stuff. But yeah. So getting right into it. This was directed by David Yates, which is a new guy to come in. Written of course, the original novel was written by J.K. Rowling with the screenplay by Michael Goldenberg. I'm pretty confident this is the first time that the screenwriter changed. Yeah, it was Steve Kloves for all of the other 4. So
Yeah,
I thought that was
right.
kind of interesting.
Interesting.
He made his money and did.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what
Chris
changed.
Columbus, like, pretty much.
Discovered America.
Yeah, he did. But
That's a true
I-
fact.
I
so
was-
that we cannot dispute.
in the Goblet
Anyways,
of Fire special features, they were talking about how he like really handed things off and he like left.
well, that's what
like,
I said. Remember,
very
I was talking
amicably.
about that in the last. I think or no,
Were
whichever
we?
one was his last one. Yeah, they said he was originally going to be.
He was only the first 2, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because then
Yeah,
Alfonso.
and
He was
and
originally
then
going to
was
stay on
like,
as a
"I'm
producer,
done."
but then he's like, "No, I need to raise my children" or something like that. Like he
Yeah.
really wanted to pay attention to his kids, which is cool. But
when the
here
world
it-
needed him most.
when the world needed most. And then here we'll get into the old IMDb, the IMDb
Yeah.
description. With their warning about Lord Voldemort's return scoffed at, Harry and Dumbledore are targeted by the wizard authorities as an authoritarian bureaucrat slowly seizes power at Hogwarts.
That's probably the most succinct
I think
one
so.
thus far.
Yeah, maybe. I still think there was. Maybe the second one was my favorite one, or the best one that actually. No, it's the third one. Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban, I think, was the best one. Had the most complete one. But still, that's a close second.
One offline.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. Let's get into it. Review Order of the Phoenix. What do we think? Top level thoughts. Gooch starts off.
I mean, it's definitely the best one out of them all. Come on, it's like like we, you know, I say it every movie. Like we're on a roller coaster, and we are now officially at the apex. We are fucking hurtling down, having the time of our lives.
We're in the end game now.
Right. We are entering, like I said, with
About.
Goblet of Fire. We're officially in like where the seriousness gets seriouser.
No pun
See what I
intended.
did? And
Oh, like Sirius Black. Sorry. Continue.
we're again exiting movie, entering film territory. But yeah, this movie is just overall, it's just great. It really does a good job with the pacing. Like I don't really think I had any sort of complaints at all with
No,
this.
I love to hear it.
And again, before the rewatch, I was already like, yeah, and like remember like Order of the Phoenix is good. Plus, I've seen that one on TV all the time. It's always on TV. But Penza, Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, after rewatching this, I think it might. So far out of the 5, it's my favorite. I think it still is my favorite. I still love Prisoner of Azkaban, but I think I was even thinking over like the books recently. I think this might be my favorite book too. This is the biggest book. It's huge. I think it's like 800 something pages,
870,
right?
yeah.
I'm trying to think. I imagine a lot is happening behind the scenes that they're going into detail on that we don't get in the movie. Because like
It's a pretty short. It's one of the shorter.
So this is the shortest. I think it was opposite, like. I think this is the shortest movie out of all of them, but the longest book.
No, it's because we did this last week.
And then Chamber of Secrets was the longest movie, but the shortest book.
I think this is the second shortest movie.
I'm pretty confident.
we do this like every
I'm almost
episode.
positive.
I think
Because we looked this up.
I think one of the Deathly
Too much of a
Hallows is the
difference.
shortest. I feel like we did talk about this, but
I was looking at these earlier. I'm going to keep digging, but I'm fairly confident because that was like we said this even during Chamber of Secrets. Order of Phoenix is the longest book, but the shortest movie, and the opposite is true for Chamber of Secrets. At least that's what the fun fact said. I will continue to dig though.
Yeah, I mean, there is a ton going on behind the scenes. Like
Yeah, I mean, we start off with Dumbledore's army being formed. Like the old guard are coming back, and they're like, "All right, we gotta get our shit together."
Yeah.
like now. Yeah, which is really cool to see. Like sorry, I just totally.
No, you're
interrupted.
fine.
I was
Sorry,
like,
Jake.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just letting this happen.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. I was just like my quick initial thoughts were, I think it's maybe my favorite overall. I don't know. We'll see after the next one. I think the next one's up there for me
Half-Blood
too.
Prince, I'm hazy on.
I'm
been a while.
I'm excited to watch that again because I haven't seen that in like a couple years. So I'm excited to watch it again. But yeah, I mean everything about this, obviously, like I think this movie has the best scene in Harry Potter films when it's Dumbledore and Voldemort fighting in the
Okay.
Ministry of Magic. That scene just incredible. Like there's no music going on. It's just like there's no really talking going on.
Yep.
It's just them fighting, and like there's like
raw power.
just them going at it. Harry tries to get up. Dumbledore throws him back down, and like the scene with that sphere of water and everything when Voldemort's in it, it's like incredible. For 2007, it's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to
Like
get too
VFX
deep into that
wise.
quickly, but like, I love a good magic fight. I
And
really
they
do.
do
Like
it
a
so
great.
well.
Nothing annoys me more than when it's two magical people going up against each other, and it's just shitty and nothing. Like my favorite example is Lord of the Rings, and I know it's a different universe and like magic works differently in that and all that. But like when it's Saruman and Gandalf fighting, and they're literally just like throwing each other around the room with telepathy. I'm like, throw a fireball, do some like lightning, do some cool shit. But no, I agree that fight's amazing,
Okay,
which we'll
so-
get to for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you both that I think it's thus far the best movie. Probably my favorite book, if not Half-Blood Prince. I think it's tough. It's tough
between
in
the
the last
two
three.
of them
It's
for
tough in
me.
the last three, but I've said it probably every episode so far. But I think what I should have been saying so far was each movie has been not a turning point, but like a build up. It was building. And I think this is the true
Where it
turning
bursts.
point in the series.
Yeah.
The climax of it, not the climax, but
What
of
the apex
of the building. It's
Yeah.
but
like
the
my
climax
roller,
or something,
my
like you're
roller
trying-
coaster analogy. We're at the top.
but I don't
I
know.
don't even
it
think
doesn't
we're
get here.
necessarily. Yeah.
We're getting there. It's I think
We're
the
starting
point-
to level
I think
off.
the point where like
It's a
where we start free falling towards like the climax of everything is when they don't return back to Hogwarts.
I agree with that.
7. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Like-
It stays
Because like we go back to Hogwarts in the next
Six,
book
yeah.
and movie,
Movie,
and
yeah.
and Half-Blood Prince. So like, but yeah, it's when they can't return back. Like that's when.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
like the start of the end.
Yes,
For sure.
I guess this is like where innocence is gone. Like, and obviously
Yeah.
from end of 4, like Harry sees Cedric die, and that's like a big change. And both that they do a decent job, but like he's like definitely like shell shocked in the movie.
I
and
love
stuff.
how it comes up a lot, not just with Cho Chang, but with Harry. Like they're clearly traumatized by it, and I almost forgot about that, or maybe it was a detail that I didn't really think about.
Because think about it, like how it happened was
And nobody believes
They just
Voldemort.
They came back,
even though the kid died, right?
They just took the Portkey back using the Triwizard
The cup,
cup.
yeah.
yeah.
They Portkeyed back and they just see Cedric dead,
Right.
and they're like, "What the hell happened?"
Right.
And like the tabloids, essentially, what they're all reading, they're reading like wizard tabloids, saying like, "Oh, it was Potter
Yeah.
did it, blah blah."
And then-
and what he's
Yeah,
saying
I
is like
almost-
Voldemort's back, and then the Ministry of
almost-
Magic's like, "Don't fucking say Voldemort's back. We don't want everybody to
Right.
freak
I
out."
almost, like,
That's
wish-
why Fudge is always like, "No, no, no."
Cedric kind of got wrapped up in the bullshit of that, in the
His
politics.
death.
I kind of
Yeah.
wish there was
There's a-
like, I
there's a
don't know, some
good
type
amount
of
of
like
politics in it.
magical fountain that you could view memories like through.
Yeah, right.
That you could like, see if someone's telling the truth.
That'd be
something
that would
like
be
that. It would be
convenient,
really
yeah.
cool.
Wouldn't that be helpful?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, no.
But also, like the Ministry doesn't like.
no, I do
like,
get
they-
that
they
aspect. They
wanna-
don't want to even sort of consider it.
Yeah, they don't want to believe that he's back. Also,
For
like,
sure.
Is Fudge like
There's-
really convinced? Like, is he lying or is he?
He genuinely
at the
seems to
I
not think
he,
he's
like
back.
he
Yeah.
genuinely thinks that.
Well, he-
I mean, it's like ignorance
I know,
is
I
bliss,
know.
essentially. Like
like all of them, they're all just like
he
very
wants
stupid.
to not believe it. Is basically what it is.
Right.
He's always
he's
afraid of
terrified.
Dumbledore.
I mean, it
versus
was one
his
of the
power.
worst times in wizarding history was when Voldemort was alive, right?
yeah,
That's
and
the
it-
whole idea.
Yeah.
But
And he thinks it's a power grab by Dumbledore. Like he just
Sure.
he puts blinders
Right.
on.
That's brought
Yeah,
up
yeah.
more than a few times.
but
Which
yeah,
is weird.
yeah, it is. But I don't know because I think that does kind of line
Almost
up in
seems
the
out of
way.
character. Why would he do that?
Who?
Why would Dumbledore grab power? Like that seems out of character for him.
Like,
Why would
Yeah.
Fudge
Yeah,
think
it's-
that he's trying to
Right.
grab for power? I
Right.
actually would agree with that observation,
it-
like, because he does seem to be seem to view him as a pretty altruistic guy up until that. At least that's what we seem to be informed of.
Yeah, but if you have
Anyways.
enough like ears in your head, like in the film, like Luna says it, like she's like, wouldn't Voldemort want you to feel alone? He's like, it feels like
He's taking advantage of
like
the
this
situation.
conspiracy
Yeah.
that the Ministry is like doing
Yeah.
this to pin all these people against Harry for him to be like isolated. She's like, isn't that what you would do if you were Voldemort?
Right.
So like, it's
So
not
insightful,
just Fudge is like Fudge has like people in his ears putting.
I mean, it's an allegory
essentially
for how
bullshit.
government,
Yeah.
just can
Yeah,
roll into
yeah.
this bullshit and
Sure.
how they don't want to. I mean, actually, I do think it's a very even relevant story today. The government is full of bureaucratic
and
bureaucratic bullshit that can also cause information on top of other things. But I loved this movie a lot. I think watching these back to back is genuinely this is the first time I've done that and really kind of let certain storylines settle in, and like I've noticed how well they've really built them into the overarching story of all the movies, and even setting it up with Harry having these visions of Voldemort before and kind of laying the ground of like, oh, they're connected somehow, but you don't know exactly how. And then it just kind of snowballs and it all works incredibly well together. And you're like, oh, they're setting up this. I'm like, oh, fuck, I did not even catch that because I was watching these year to year and I was much younger when I watched these more earlier movies. But these are the ones I definitely remember a lot more than like a Sorcerer's Stone or a Chamber of Secrets. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's really fantastic. I gotta say, it's not one of the movies I remember being this good, but I'm much more stoked on it than I would have expected to be. Like you said, the magic and stuff in it is great. I mean, we talk about the special effects every week.
You did.
Or no, I'm sorry, Penza talked about the magic fights and
Did you
stuff
say
like
Matt?
that too. No, I said
Gooch. Okay.
I said Gooch.
I heard you right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, did I make a mistake?
You're wrong. You're dead wrong about everything.
everything terrible.
Carry on.
But yeah, no, I
Shut
just
up
think
and
it's a
stay in your
great.
corner.
It's a great film, and all the actors once again settle into their roles even more. There's some really good moments, I think, between Snape and Harry for sure. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But what did you guys think of the whole dynamic with Harry and Ron this time? Do you feel like that switched around again, or like I feel like Ron was pretty underused.
In this movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even the friends in general. I don't know. Would you say that's correct?
But then you have the moment at the end, like the whole.
We're also focusing on more of the secondary characters than we are the trio, you know?
Sure.
There's it's the Order of the Phoenix. It's not just about Harry and friends. I mean, it is technically Harry and friends, but it's Harry and the Grand Plan.
Dumbledore's army.
Right, Dumbledore's army, the lead up to that. Yeah, so I guess and we get Luna Lovegood, we get a whole new character, and she gets a lot of time in this movie. And it's like, I'm not, like, I guess I'll see, like, I'm not really sure, like, what Luna's reason is. It's pretty interesting that they decided to just bring in a new character and then, oh yeah, you're in Dumbledore's army now. Like I forget what happens later with her at all.
Sure, I guess I
And
don't know.
And I
Like,
know I know she has some tie or her parents and stuff.
I don't know. I think it's just you're bringing in a new. Is she as
And
prominent
she's a
in the book?
Ravenclaw.
Is she as prominent in the book,
She's a
gentlemen?
Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't she a Hufflepuff?
Luna Lovegood's a Ravenclaw.
She's not a brain, is she?
No, I'm almost positive she's a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
And Cho Chang's a Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw's the smart, like the geniuses. I don't think Luna is.
What is it? Smart, brave, evil, and
The
courageous.
notable
killing.
Hufflepuffs are like
Cunning,
yeah.
like Cedric,
You're high.
Luna, I believe. What's his name? Newt is a Hufflepuff. I think Luna's like one of the other big,
I think she's a
quote
Hufflepuff.
unquote big name Hufflepuff.
She's Ravenclaw.
Oh, she is.
She is.
All right, hand in your Harry Potter cards.
Yeah. What the
I know,
hell?
I know.
What is this shit?
She is smart.
No, because she shows them to get to what's it called?
The
in
diet.
I love how they
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
put something in to be like, no, she's smart. She helped them.
She's the one.
Uh,
She's the
yeah.
one who tells them how to
Yeah.
find what's her name.
Yeah, she brings them up there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she's Ravenclaw. Whatever.
Apologies. Salty.
Yeah, you should be.
No,
Fucking
no,
phonies.
no, the one who's
I just have too much knowledge up there. You know?
Exactly.
the one character that I feel like is a little bit underused in this is definitely Cho Chang. 'Cause in the book, she's in it a ton. Because like her and Harry like have a relationship.
So I was gonna
Yeah.
say that
Right.
was a big question for me when I was watching.
And I like the relationship. I think it makes sense and her feelings towards Cedric
you
getting in the way.
stand that shit.
I stand that shit.
All right, so we're gonna jump ahead of here. Does she ever pop up in any other movies?
What do you mean?
Cho Chang.
Well, she's in
Goblet of
4.
Fire.
Is she in? No,
and
I'm
that's-
sorry. Past this. My apologies.
I can't remember about the movie.
Because I felt like that was one
Oh,
storyline that
movies?
was left very much not tied off. I didn't really understand.
Actually, I can't remember either way. I should say
Because I would remember
by
because
in
I was,
name for sure.
yeah, I just was confused because I was like, why did she just turn them in because she
Oh no,
was
she, she didn't.
She got friend.
In their book, her friend does.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, so they just use Cho. in the
Cho.
movie.
But I think Cho is probably the better choice because it's more meaningful and Harry
Yeah.
gets mad at her.
But
and
all-
then they just tell and he tells her to fuck off. Like they don't even make a
Yeah.
there's no any type of even
Yeah.
send off for her in this entire movie. It was really confusing to me.
Cut a bitch off real quick.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean for
He's
real.
like,
And
Yeah, I guess you're right.
the chosen one does not have time for these games.
I didn't
No,
think
it's
about
true.
it like that.
because it was
Yeah.
funny. I was sitting there when we were watching it. And I'm like, so where did?
Well,
we by the end, my girlfriend's like,
Where's
what
Cho?
happened to like Cho Chang? I was like,
I
I
know
don't know.
that by the time
She got axed.
yeah.
I know that by the time the movie was made, definitely. I mean, Half-Blood Prince, the book was out. I don't know if Deathly Hallows was out.
I don't recall.
So I wonder if they're just like, hey, she's not in the next book a ton, maybe, and they're like,
Fuck it. Like let's just not even worry. Let's
and
just
I
use her
forget
and,
like when
and
any
toss
Ginny
her out.
stuff happens, or if it's just like a later down the line thing that I forget like any of the
I think
Ginny
6
stuff.
is where Ginny like starts to really come into play. Like they have their back and forth or whatever,
Yeah.
but then like Dean Thomas and all that. Like
Mhm.
that. I think that's 6. I just
So
can't
that could have been
remember.
it. They're just like, hey,
I like how Seamus is very skeptical of Harry.
oh, know what else?
I hated that little bitch.
I mean, like, again, he's getting spun,
That
just
was-
like everyone else is.
No, you're right, though.
He
No,
doesn't
I think
know
it's a-
what
yeah.
to think.
That was Ron's big moment in this movie. Was that anyone else have a problem with Harry? Like when Seamus says something.
You're right,
You,
that's-
suppose you believe him. He's like, yeah, I do. Anybody else have a problem with Harry?
I
Like,
actually did really
big
like
Ron,
that moment.
Big
And-
Ron
and
moment.
again,
That's
it-
like book Ron right
Yeah.
there. That's a good.
Yeah.
that
Like
was a good
as
one.
a viewer, you would think it would be weird for like someone to contest Harry, like we kind of pointed out in Goblet of Fire. Like why does everyone just hate him all of a sudden? Doesn't
Well,
really make a lot of sense.
yeah.
But with this, they really have substantial evidence to be like, you know, what did happen?
It does
And
look
they
really
don't
weird.
know because they weren't there,
Exactly.
and they're
he
also
does.
Harry's friends. So I feel like they questioning him feels like genuine.
Sure, and I do like Casey said earlier. He does just
The
pop
conflict
up
is
with
genuine.
with Cedric's body from a poor key.
Well, yeah.
and
So
there's
like,
really nothing.
It goes
or
back
Matt's
to like the Ministry not wanting the entire wizarding population to like know
out.
that Voldemort is back and to freak out. So they're whether like
Well, they don't
believe
want
or
it to
not-
know, or they genuinely don't think that or they don't want him to be back. Because like as I took it
Don't-
throughout this movie, I felt like, and like Gooch was talking about with Fudge's thing at the end, like his expression was, he genuinely didn't think he was back, but it was mostly out of the fact
He's
that he
like,
doesn't want him
That's
to
what-
be
yeah,
back.
he put blinders on. He didn't want to know. Like didn't want to admit it, didn't want to have to admit it.
And there
Sure.
was shit, and there was shit going on right under his own nose in the Ministry of Magic and the
that's
what
the
is
thing. They're
the,
tied in.
And like Penza was saying, people are
Antiquity-
whispering in his ears.
What's that section that they're in?
Department of Mysteries.
Thank you.
Well, that's like he knows about that. They might not know what goes on in there. That's like exclusive for the people that work in there. But that's
Right.
That's not like a secret.
Right. No, but like it's happening in his own place of business per se. You know.
What you mean? Just like what happened at the end with the fight?
No, that there's secrets meeting Lucius Malfoy's meeting people and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
going
How
down.
he's talking to him
Within
at
the
the
ministry.
door.
Right.
To the,
right.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Like very literally, not that he.
Well, and I
Well,
think
yeah,
that
he
was a
doesn't
good
know, but-
illustration of them, the people around him influencing him. And
and you see him right at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there he is.
who plays Lucius again?
I forget. He's a good actor.
He's great.
Fuck,
Just
he's
the
in
way he
Patriot.
fucking acts.
Yeah.
God damn it! What's his name?
I can't remember either.
It's hard to recognize him without the long like.
He
Silver
looks very
hair,
different.
The,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
white
yeah.
hair.
I got you.
I see. I got his face. Like,
Yeah.
I really like that entire
Does it
scene
start-
of him being interrogated by the Ministry, and then like Dumbledore coming in and just ripping them all a new asshole. Like, you're hosting a fucking trial for this? Because didn't he do the same thing in
James
earlier?
Isaacs.
Yeah.
That's right. Didn't he do the same thing in earlier movies? Technically, by like blowing up his grandma.
He blew up his aunt and they like
Or his
sent
aunt.
him the letter. He got the
That's right.
threat,
Exactly. Yeah. But then
and
they were like, because as you would with a child, gonna take them to
we
fucking
brought
court for
up
that.
in I think Chamber of Secrets, right? I think I asked him like, what are the rules about using magic, and like he gets like nailed instantaneously, and it's so funny because it's like very what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out, guys.
Bureaucratic.
No, the reason he uses it is very justified.
Well,
he's defending himself.
Well, but
from
then
a
he
fucking
also does
Dementor.
it. But I'm sorry.
Like
Yeah.
in the
it's
beginning,
legal.
It's a life threatening.
right, like he was going to die, and it's a Dementor. What is a
yeah.
Dementor doing in London? Like, why are they there?
But that's what Dumbledore points out. What the fuck's going on? And
Right,
I
right.
like that slight introduction of what's her name?
Umbridge.
Umbridge, yeah,
Like,
very good.
You're not implying it was.
Yeah.
She is
So
fantastic
silly,
in this
yeah.
movie.
And I did want to go back to that
fucking
scene
hate her.
because
Yeah.
we get the Privet Drive scene, which we didn't really get in the last one. We get a quick Dudley looking early O's. is
Some
everything.
classic "your mom's dead" jokes.
yeah, classic
Beat
shit.
up another 10-year-old. This one deserved it. Fucking cracks me
He
up.
looks like such a G, and Harry saves him, and
Like, yeah.
Dudley's still an asshole. The neighbor,
Mrs. Fig.
what's up with her? There's got to be book stuff about her. I feel like there was so is she a plant, or does she actually just live there and happen to be a witch?
She's a squib, isn't she?
I think so.
Yeah, she's a squib. She is a sibling
and by
to
plant, I meant was she planted
to
there to watch
somebody.
Harry?
I think
that's why
relatively important.
I can't
forget
remember
who.
who it is.
Yeah, she's a squibs, but so like
Has she lived there the entire time Harry's been there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Like in
did?
the earlier books, they talk about like the Dursleys going to vacations
they
and
put her there
leaving
on-
him with her.
With her.
Didn't Dumbledore like put her there on purpose?
I can't remember if she'd been there or not.
Right, yeah, that was
But
my
she's
question,
been there
'cause I
like
was
since he was little.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because he would go and stay with her and her cats, and he's like, they comments on how she's weird and like, but she played it well. Like,
She's weird in the movie.
No, she's good.
It seems like she is weird.
And I do love how she kind of like hobbles in and then
Yeah.
sits down.
But she
And
would
just-
like give Dumbledore updates on Harry and stuff like that. She was kind of his eyes on the ground.
So
Boots
squib,
on the ground.
remind me what that is. I know Filch is a squib. Remind
It's
me.
just someone who is
Has
born
two
of
magical- yeah.
two wizard parents, but
Muggles born to magical parents.
but is
No powers.
not, but is not.
So she's just tailing Harry. She's not using magic. She's just watching him, plain as day.
yeah, no magic.
Okay, yeah, because she like shows up like.
but that's why
at the most
she.
opportune time.
That's why she knows about like the wizard world.
Right, what's going on?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, and then when she gets in the courtroom, she does seem a little clueless.
So do muggles
funny,
only
yeah.
know about the wizarding world if they either A, marry someone who's a wizard, or B, have family that is the wizard
That's
is
like
a
the
wizard?
gist. They
Yeah.
operate
Yeah.
in secrecy. Like,
Sure. And then like
I
the
think it's like a safety thing. I forget.
that makes sense. And but the prime minister knows about it,
Yeah,
right?
That's actually in the next one.
Okay.
That first scene of
Ah,
the book.
okay.
I don't know if they do.
Well,
it in
doesn't he
the movie, I
mention?
can't
Well, he
remember.
said,
I
doesn't he
don't think
mention
so.
that you have to like? I thought he mentioned something about warning the Muggle prime minister in this one.
Prime
I think
Minister.
I think there is a comment about
But
that.
Sounds
something
such
like
a
that.
great-
The-
No,
or the Muggle prime minister has been alerted or something.
yeah,
like that. I
something like
forget,
that.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's in Prisoner of Azkaban.
It's in one of them.
But yeah, either
Oh,
when he's talking
maybe,
about
I don't
like
know.
Sirius
that,
Black
yeah,
or
that
something,
they've
yeah.
been eliminated to the threat or something like that. I do find the
the courtroom
interaction.
scene is very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know where you were going, but I just want to say that.
No, yeah, I just think the interaction between the magical and Muggle world in this is really interesting, and I know I always bring it up, but just in the way of like what things they don't know about and what things they do know about, and what things the magical
Mr.
people
Weasley
know about.
being like, what is the purpose of a rubber duck?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
What is the
someone
function?
someone rides past him on a bike and he looks at it like
He's like, what the fuck is?
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys don't have a bike.
I'm
like
dude,
what?
Like what the fuck? You think like that's crazy?
No,
Like,
that's the thing. I do like those silly little moments a lot. I find them to be
going
really
to the
funny.
subway and he like goes to walk through the gate and he's like,
It's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
yeah, he puts things
Harry,
like,
yeah.
he's like brilliant or something like that. It's just so simple man.
It is so funny to just think about. It's like, yeah, they just teleport everywhere. What the fuck wouldn't you?
and they're hiding in Sirius's black. Sirius
Sirius Blacks.
Sirius Blacks.
the Blacks
Sirius
family home in London, which is in between other homes.
It is.
Grimmauld
you get
place.
creature there.
Yeah.
Creature.
Yeah.
So they own slaves.
No, they're out. I mean, they're
Yeah.
Or is he free?
He's a house elf.
they're house elves.
He's a house elf.
Jesus Christ!
I really liked
It's just
Casey's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
kinda.
it's just like how
And he
other
doesn't
house
really-
elves
No,
are.
I know,
He
but
doesn't really
they're all
like them.
slaves, right? House elves.
He doesn't really like them.
creature.
Yeah, but that's
He's
not.
kind of cute.
He's
a little
I don't
old
think
guy.
slaves is the right
Creature's a
term. Like
fuck
that. Like
of a
that's what
shit.
house elves.
Indentured servants.
Yeah, but that's like what they want to do is
No, like,
to work.
That's like
Essentially.
it's instinctual, I
Sure.
guess, is how they put it.
But
they
like if
spin
they,
it to-
but if
that's
you
their
free the,
purpose.
so you okay, interesting. But like, say you free creature, does he work for you? Like, could you be like, hey
Like-
creature, I'm
like-
gonna free you, but like you can still work here.
Yeah, like so
He
like
has to get him
Dobby
close.
Dobby is weird to other elves. They're like, don't talk like that. And he's like talking about freedom and rights for
Oh,
elves. And all that.
interesting.
And like they don't
Okay.
they don't
In the
they don't
last
go
one,
into
there
it,
was the whole what?
spew.
Yeah, well, no,
That's right.
what-
Yeah,
what
because
do
I
they call
remember
it?
them
What's it
talking
called?
about
Spew SPEW. It's like Society for the Promotional
of L.
Equal
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
something
elven
welfare.
well-being.
Yeah,
And Hermione does this whole thing where she tries to like, essentially like,
give them
Like a
rights
civil
and
rights
pay.
movement. For the elves,
but all
yeah.
the elves who work at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Which we see.
But aren't they?
None
But
of
didn't you
them in
guys
the
say they're
movies.
free?
Yeah.
They're freed elves
They
that
are.
just come to work there because they don't have anywhere else
Do
to
the
go.
elves?
I
Are
think
the
it-
elves
yeah.
the guys who cooking?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
think it-
elves
that
don't
makes
even
sense.
want it. Like Hermione does all this stuff. Like the elves like don't care.
That's just like, no, I want to be here.
That's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
That is interesting.
But yeah, Winky is another elf that they don't.
Yeah, you've
bring
mentioned
up.
Winky
like, that's
before.
Interesting.
big for all that. Like
But-
that exposition of
But
that
creature is. Creature's interesting. I'd say he's probably like
He's a fuck of a shit, dude.
yeah he's like a
He's a bastard.
he's like a neutral evil if that makes sense. I don't
Sure.
even know like
like lawful evil.
Like a
based
lawful
on
evil,
what
yeah.
he's.
I will go a little bit ahead
Yeah.
to a fun fact here for creature. He was almost not included in this film.
I'm glad they included him.
But
He's
J-
got-
yeah,
JK
he's got-
apparently
he's got
Yeah, yeah,
2 scenes.
Yeah.
One
Like,
where
he's the one-
He's the one
Yeah.
who fucks with Harry and tells him to go to the ministry, right?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah, he's a.
He
fuck
tells
of a
that
shit,
Sirius at the
dude,
ministry
either,
and
yeah.
like he has like no idea where
Yeah.
Sirius is, but he just
He
like
yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
when they get to his house,
He doesn't even like
is
Sirius.
Because
is he
that's
there?
why he's telling Sirius, he's like, what's his, he uses the code words,
He-
but then it's like,
yeah.
Sirius is like, whatever. Like, of course he's doing that to obviously
When they
save
first
Side
get to
too.
his house, Sirius isn't there, right?
Yeah, he is. He's in the
He's
room with
there.
everyone talking, and then she
I'm
closes
just
the
trying to
door.
remember because it's like Snape and Professor
Weasleys, Lupin, yeah.
it's the whole fucking
Kit and
we're
caboodle.
going- and then we get to see Mad Eye Moody and girl from Game of Thrones, forget her name, in this movie.
Nymphadora.
Yeah.
Something. I can't remember her last name.
Tonks.
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 I
Yeah.
was trying to think of who in Thrones. I forgot about
Yeah,
her in that.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Who was
apparently
she- who was she
related
in
to
Thrones?
Sirius Black.
She
She-
is that wildling
Yeah.
servant.
When they
that
go
finds a brand, remember, and that starts working. That's
two-
like with
Oh my-
Hodor.
yeah.
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 Jeez.
Hodor, man.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of the actual order itself? Like that whole the whole training sequences and just the kind
Very
of camaraderie.
You mean the
Very
Dumbledore's army? That,
Yeah,
like, the-
I'm sorry.
okay, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
It,
It used to be the Order of the Phoenix,
it's
right?
The
Is the
same
idea?
purpose? They just
Just renamed it.
yeah for like
They need their own original name.
Their own
All
original
right.
name, yeah.
It's already
Uh,
copyrighted.
Exactly. What's the room they're in again? It's
The room requirement?
what is just so you find that when you require it
It's like
is
a
the idea,
Yeah, it's
right?
like,
Is
yeah.
like it's
is it 3 times? Like I think in the book there's like an actual like you gotta like walk back and forth like 3 times with this specific. I need this. It's like
Yeah,
people
you
find
have-
it by accident
yeah.
when they're like pacing and it's a
It
certain
is
area.
kind of weird
because you
that-
need somewhere to study. Like you literally like
And
you need
it
like and
forms
the room,
whatever you need.
Okay,
It's
it
always
does,
in the
yeah.
same spot, but it's
Yeah,
like
that's
the
seems like a
logistics
weird-
of it seem weird.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
It's
I was wondering.
magic.
It's magic, dude.
But-
The
but,
logistics,
like,
man.
No, but I get what Gooch to a degree.
The logistics
My
seem weird.
logistic
the
on it.
logistics of everything in it is fucked.
See, with
magic.
magic,
Yeah.
I would assume that is only there when the doors open. So like you couldn't like. I was kind of surprised that they were just able to break into
through
it.
the wall.
You know what I mean? Again,
Yeah.
not something I necessarily need an answer for, or something I'm really sitting here like keeping.
No, I
on
know
it.
what you mean because
But
I
I
can't
was just
remember.
interested by
No,
that.
because it doesn't move.
Do they just get brought?
Okay.
Do they get brought in the book, or is it the whole bombardment thing? I couldn't
What,
remember
how they
that.
get it? How they
like
figure it out?
how Umbridge and the Inquisitor squad.
Draco really just catches them going in, and they spend like more, I guess, like a lot of time.
Well, but that's the thing, they
trying
knew it
to
was-
figure out how to do it, and they can't.
That's the other thing. I'm confused on why they would have then needed. Like they know where
Well,
it is.
I think
right
I don't know. Maybe it was like Chobe got the door and they
To
blow
appear,
through it.
and then they could
I
actually-
can't remember.
Right, and then
'cause
they
come through
blow open
wall.
the door. Maybe it is like
I
that.
think there is a logic. There's a logical
yeah,
way. You
I
get there.
can't remember.
Again, I'm
That's-
just more
Right,
curious.
like I said, the logistics of the magic. Give it to me. We brought up Umbridge. Definitely like one of the, but okay, Voldemort is the main villain of this whole thing, we know. She is the best villain in Harry Potter. Right,
She's
under
Joffrey
Voldemort.
level of I love
She's
to hate
good.
her.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You know, they give you reason to hate her from the moment you see her. And they just fuel that fucking hate the whole movie.
Yeah.
And like, there's no reason to like her. She's irredeemable.
Yeah.
It's great. Like, you know, I don't really think there is anyone that comes into their tier in the rest. I mean, it is Voldemort pretty much the rest of the time, but you know.
You're right. There's no redemption for her at all, and not
Right, and you don't
necessarily
care.
that. Yeah,
You don't
not that
need
you
it.
want it.
Right.
But I'm trying to think. There's not necessarily. I guess they're kind of our villains of the movie for
Yeah,
some
I mean,
of these.
Quirrell and
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
really Voldemort, technically.
Sure. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think she's
And then
incredibly
Tom
well
Riddle,
used that way.
Technically Voldemort,
Sure.
technically
It's
not.
almost like everybody else has a reason they're so fucked up and evil, and
she
she's just
doesn't.
like
Bureaucratic,
irredeemable,
terrible, evil.
like,
Like,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
even that whole scene when she's making him write on the hand, like the hand thing.
Yeah.
And again, I'm wondering, like, why don't you go? And then she's like, oh, I don't want to go to Dumbledore because I don't want to worry him. And then I guess she's
Give her the
fine with doing that.
satisfaction.
Everyone else, there's just some like leaps in logic to where I'm like, I guess the government's just like letting her do whatever she wants at the school
Yeah.
as long as she's
Right,
following.
and McGonagall steps in and like,
it.
what are you doing?
yeah.
I like
and
that
she,
scene
like-
a lot with Dumbledore.
I forget what she said. Oh, and when they kick Trelawney
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and like, you know, like you pretty much have the entire faculty body being like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
But almost like, I can't push the buttons of the Ministry, which is because that's what she represents.
Well, it's not even. Yeah, it's
obviously.
like it's not even that he can't even push the buttons. It looks like he literally just can't even do anything, even if he wanted to. Like he was like,
Were you talking
well,
about
I
Dumbledore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where like he's like, oh well, you can tell, like you can fire her, but you can't tell
Yeah.
her to leave the grounds.
Well,
Sick for now.
Dumbledore is just like doing his own thing. I love when Harry fucking. Did he yell at him?
Yeah.
he
yeah,
kind of
he's
loses
like,
on. He's like, look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, because like Dumbledore's since the moment he walked into that courtroom, really aloof. This movie, very like clearly doing his own thing, but like isn't really giving Harry or anyone else the
So
time.
what did you glean from that behavior?
I was gonna say
Based on
it
watching the
confused
movie,
me.
like,
It
what
confused
did
me
you
by the end.
understand for like why he was doing that?
Because he doesn't want to. If people see him being close to Harry, there would probably be an issue. Or is it?
Well, he
something else?
explains it
Yeah,
at the end,
yeah,
right?
like in so
Doesn't he
many-
literally like say why
Yeah,
he's been ignoring him?
I'm trying to remember like how
Exactly
in
how
depth
he
they
words
go
it.
in the movie because like the book he lays
He
it all
says
out.
something like,
The last chapter of the book, as long as it is after everything that happens in the bat, like sometimes when I'm reading through the series, I don't even want to finish the last chapter of that book because it's so long.
Yeah.
But it's a great layout, everything for you.
That was definitely one thing I didn't find to be that strong because I'm having trouble remembering
Yeah,
exactly what he says. But
I
he's
don't
like,
really even
no,
know.
Harry, this is why I didn't talk to you all year. And I'm like,
Oh right,
I didn't really
I
understand
can hear
that.
the line in my head.
But
no, Harry.
Yeah,
the
like
way
no,
he says
I
it.
was trying to protect you. I thought
No,
something.
Harry.
I can't remember the exact reason he gives, but
Yeah.
I didn't find that to be very
So-
compelling for me.
So he basically like realized, I guess, and so the gist of it is Dumbledore realized that Voldemort and Harry's minds are linked, and
Right.
he basically, now that Voldemort has his blood in him, I guess, like he has like a stronger connection to him and stuff from the end of the fourth one.
Sure.
And then Dumbledore just keeps his distance from Harry because, yes, he didn't necessarily want Voldemort to find out that Dumbledore was like involved in keeping Harry any more than like normal keeping him safe, like that he was actively working to try and get Harry to like be the chosen one, fulfill the prophecy kind of thing.
Right.
And then he's afraid that like
That
if
would
Harry's
tick
in contact
off,
with him, Dumbledore could be like susceptible to Voldemort's influence or like reveal information that like through Harry and like he just didn't want to give Voldemort any ammunition, so he like veers off.
I do want to again point
Dumbledore.
back to that. Like, it's great. That's what I'm talking about. With they lay the groundwork in these movies. They really foundation work, and the fourth one with that connection being set up between Harry and Voldemort even beforehand.
Right.
Then he gets his blood. It's even stronger. Now he might even be able to invade
Right.
his mind. Like, so by that point he is already, and we won't get too far into this. He's already a Horcrux, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like from birth.
from the-
Yeah,
from
that's
the moment
birth.
he gets the scar.
It was from that night. He was
Oh
born
no,
with
you're,
the
yeah. I'm
skull.
sorry.
So
sorry.
so then
You're
they
right.
they did have
You're
a
right.
connection
Yeah.
even before he got his blood in him the
Oh, yeah.
second time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
I did want to bring up the Voldemort imagery in this movie before we actually see him in the suit. Really like that touch.
It was a cool
I don't know
little
what
moment.
it is. I don't know why they decided
Very
to do that.
disconcerting. That moment where he's
In the train station.
hallucinating and he sees Voldemort sitting there. He's like in a suit. And it's
all black
Oh,
suit,
yeah.
like very.
I was thinking
At the
Black
Hogwarts
Robe
Express,
as well.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
not the black robe, that black suit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember they used that in the commercials a ton. Just a random little fact I remember. Yeah, I don't know. I think it. I like it. I don't know why. It's cool imagery. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Death Eaters
It's a
look
good
good.
shot.
I like the Death Eaters like in this with their masks and everything. I thought they looked really good.
Yeah.
In the Hall of Prophecies. And
Yeah.
all that, yeah. As they
Well,
all like descend in.
Always
on them.
remind me of Doctor Doom.
I really like that scene
Yeah,
in general
yeah.
in the Hall of the Prophecies. Like
Yeah, it was
it
really
looked
cool.
like just the ambiance wise.
Oh,
This just like never ending cavern of prophecies and things.
I meant to say this. That as crazy as that was in the film, that's like that entire sequence all the way up to when Dumbledore and Voldemort fight to like when it's over. Like people get fucked up in that fight.
Really like hardcore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I think like
Tonks does.
Tom
In the
does.
book, you
Someone
mean?
breaks their ankle. Like
Man, I
I
Moody's
think-
just limping already.
Ron gets fucked up. There's
the
like other
brain.
rooms that they have to go through to
Yeah.
get to that room. It's like a little bit like what's it called?
Sorcerer's Stone.
Sorcerer's Stone in this.
Yeah.
In
Like,
some
like there's
sense,
like
yeah.
other
There's like
rooms.
trial rooms.
Not yes and no.
There's just rooms they
there's
gotta
just
go
rooms
through.
They have to go through.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
a brain like attacks Ron or some
Yeah. I
shit.
forget what they don't. I read something today. It was like a key to good writing is to show and not tell. It was like that kind of thing. Like there's all these crazy rooms and like there's one with time turners. You get what that's for. But
Sure.
like the
Oh,
room
but-
with the brains is like what the fuck's going on in here? And like they don't.
They don't
if I
really kinda-
remember correctly, they don't go into it because it just doesn't open the door for anything like it's like it's mysteries. The
Yeah.
Department of Mystery. It's mysterious. So
Yeah, but like that stuff's the entire fight's crazy, and then Fawkes is there.
yeah, I can't remember like
He's there with. I think he gets there when Dumbledore's there.
it's like a sign that he's coming or something. Like, doesn't Fox
Yeah.
show up and then Dumbledore like appears and it's like
Who's
Yeah.
Fox again?
The
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Oh, right.
And
Fox the Phoenix.
he,
Gooch.
he takes a killing curse for Harry too. He eats him.
I like forgot.
Yeah.
And then you brought him up and I was like,
Oh,
I
Fox.
forgot he's so cute.
Speaking of killing, our second death of the
dude, stop.
franchise.
Sirius Black.
Yeah.
Possibly the most important death of the franchise.
Yeah, it could definitely like kind of weaponizes Harry a little bit.
So what's
It gets
that gate
personal.
there?
More
Behind? Why does
personal.
he get killed and like get followed right into the gate?
So
yeah.
that's actually how he dies in the
In the
book.
book,
He
yeah.
falls through. He takes like a ricochet from Bellatrix from like another.
And
she
the
doesn't.
gate kills him.
She
Yeah.
gives him the killing curse in the movie. That's not what killed.
Yeah.
The killing curse doesn't kill him. He falls through the.
He gets like stunned and falls.
And
through
like
it.
he
what's
falls
it called?
backwards
What's it
through the
called?
gate.
The veil.
Oh yes, the
something.
veil shadows or something.
Yeah, like
sounds really stupid.
they don't really know
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
what it
Like,
is.
Interesting. Was like the ministry? I mean, again, this is
I don't
probably
really-
deep lore
yeah.
stuff. Was the ministry like built around that or something, or like was it just?
Yeah,
there's not really
yeah,
much
no,
about it.
they,
Who fucking knows?
but-
But I mean, if you
Give
fall in
me
it,
your.
you
What was the
actually
gate
die.
called again?
I think it's the veil of. It's
Give
the
me
veil
some
of
idea of the
shadows.
I have
veil,
done like
stories.
extensive research to try and find out if like she put out more info on
And
this.
there's
I haven't
nothing
come
or-
up with anything. I could just be
Interesting.
missing it,
No,
but
no.
I don't know what it's about, but it's
And-
fucking like it looks serious.
And then
So,
yeah,
yeah.
we get introed into Bellatrix Lestrange just a smidge before that, right?
She
Where she comes out.
There's a moment where
She's
yeah,
cackling.
where she gets freed from Azkaban,
Azkaban.
and she's
Oh
like,
right.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
we meet her.
That's her big.
Yeah.
out in
And that
full
actress, I
force.
forgot her name. She's married to
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I have it here.
Bonham
Helen
Carter.
Bonham Carter. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
Helen
is
Bonham
she is
Carter.
so fucking good.
She really is.
Yeah, she plays
Originally
a
was supposed to be a different person playing that role.
very
We'll talk about it.
typecasted actress,
Yeah.
For
but
sure.
she does
Yes,
it well.
100%.
Yeah.
Sweeney
Yeah.
Todd.
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's the goth, you know.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
But I mean, she's incredible as Bellatrix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found that like his death is so important, but I did find that moment to be rather abrupt, and I was like, I almost didn't
kinda
have
like
time.
that.
No,
I
it's not
kinda
a bad
like
like
it,
I don't
yeah.
know. It felt like I was like my emotions didn't have time to. I would love to see that again as an adult and not know it's coming to really feel what emotions I would feel because I don't know. It was very like, oh my god, he's dead.
That heat of
Fuck,
battle
like-
though, like nice one, James, and then
It- that one
she
is-
just cuts him down. He's like smiling.
I
Harry's
did
up
know.
there.
I was like, oh, the James. Fuck,
Dude.
I didn't notice that ever before. That was really good.
I remember
Yeah,
reading
I
that
almost-
paragraph a couple times, being like, "Wait, what?
It-
Like he's dead."
It's almost kind
I
of
know.
strange. Like,
What?
why would he? Like, I get why he does that, but it is almost
I
like.
no, I thought he calls him James by accident. I took it
does.
as. Oh yeah.
But it's almost like a moment of like.
So the way
What-
it's
what-
the way
what-
it's set up is like he views Harry as like on the same respect and level that his
Lucidity?
that
is
is
that would that be the right word? He's like almost like
sanity. Is that what you're
no, like he's
He's like-
kind of like in his own head a little
So-
bit. Like
That's the thing Molly Weasley's always getting mad at him about. He's like, he's not James, because Sirius always treats him like
Yeah,
You do
he
hear
literally-
that. You
he
do
literally,
hear that
like-
a few
yeah.
times. This
he like
season.
literally like view like yeah.
right,
Not that he like
it almost seems like it's a mental thing. Like that's what I mean by lucidity.
yeah, but it's not like he's
definitely not
crazy.
it.
It's just like he sees James so much in Harry like.
Well, and he's so in the moment, and it's so natural. He's like, I'm with.
Yeah.
Like it
I don't
feels so
think he says
classic.
James in the book though.
I think he. That's what I think. I think he does. I feel like I looked this up because I was trying to remember. I was like, he didn't get the killing curse. So I like looked at this was a couple weeks ago. I just crossed my mind and I was like, oh, how does he actually die in the book? Like I knew it was the veil, but I didn't know what got him. And then I
Right.
think it is the same thing with James, but I could be wrong. I
I
like that touch though.
I didn't realize it until literally I rewatched it this time. That
That he says James, yeah.
Dude, that whole ministry scene, like the battle and then like Dumbledore and Voldemort, I watch that on YouTube, like I'm not kidding, once a month or something like that. It just comes into my head and
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta fucking
Dude,
watch
I
it.
get that.
my favorite moment was the one that we were talking about when like Harry tries to get up and Dumbledore just sees
Like,
him trying to
just-
get up and he just throws him back down. He's
Like
he's
the
"Stay out
awareness
of
of such
this." Yeah.
150 years old, whatever it is.
It's an
just
incredibly
smack 'em
well
down.
thought out action sequence,
And there's
and
no
one that I
music,
really
dude. It's, like,
and there's not-
perfect.
and just the sound, like you're saying, the sound design, the like the whistling
Yeah.
of him like
Yeah.
doing the water. It's genuinely amazing, and it's one I forgot about until I watched this
all
movie.
that glass coming and he puts up
And then
like
he
that
puts up
thing,
the sand, and it turns to sand.
It turns it to sand.
Ah,
it's so good.
again. I love all. Give me so much magic
I
in the
know.
scene. It
That was
is
a-
really
that was
good.
an impressive scene.
It was, and even just that duel between Dumbledore and Voldemort, you feel it. You
Yeah.
feel the story
The
behind
two
it.
most
and
powerful
this-
wizards of the day
It's amazing.
going at it.
It really is. Anything else about that
and then
scene? I'm
Fudge
trying
is
to
like,
think.
"Fuck,
Yeah,
he's here."
Yeah,
yeah, right.
What?
Dumbledore
Who would've
snaps
thought?
on him too. Dumbledore, in the book, Dumbledore freaks at Fudge. He's like, I've literally been fucking
Yeah,
telling
he's
you
like
this
now
for
he's
a
like,
year.
oh shit,
Yeah.
he just destroyed the Ministry
Yeah.
of Magic.
Also, I meant to bring up. I think the design of the Ministry is fucking awesome.
I was,
Yeah, it's
I'm
really
glad
Like
you
it
brought
is
that up.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
One of the coolest sets for sure.
You know,
Like
I,
it is awesome.
I feel like that kind of set
like the
where,
black
like,
marble and everything.
It really
where-
is.
where
It's
it-
distinct.
and it has like portals, people coming in and out.
Yeah.
All the
Like,
fireplaces.
That,
yeah,
that
yeah.
aesthetic is reused quite often in things.
Well, it feels like an airport almost, or something. Like it feels like
Yeah, it's
not
like,
even
this
an
is
airport.
the
Like this
hub.
is it's a hub. Yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
magical hub where business is getting done. Business people are running
Right.
in and out.
Yeah, it's where,
People,
like,
it feels like a
traveling.
It's
living
where a
place
ton of people.
for
I
sure.
think it's
An
where like,
airport necessarily.
I think
is
it's
the
where
best
like a
thing to describe,
majority
but
of the wizards even like go to work every day at the Ministry.
right.
Yeah, like-
when
yeah.
Harry walks in there, it's very worky.
It feels like a real place. It doesn't feel like something that they just like. One of my favorite
ministry,
things to bring up that does this terribly is when you go back and watch Spider-Man 1 and you look at like Rammy's and you look in the background at all the high school kids in the high school background and you're like, no one did anything to make this try and look real. There's 27-year-olds and there's just a few things on the like. No, it feels like a lived-in world for sure.
Totally.
But was there anything else that we're missing on the review end? Guys, I feel like we covered a lot of good stuff.
I liked the what are the animals called that pull the carriages?
Thestrals.
Yeah, I like that explanation.
I like that
and-
detail of them not
and
knowing.
Luna
Yeah.
like divulging her like
Yeah.
her mom.
Yeah.
Mom was
Yeah.
killed by Death Eater.
No, she just died.
Oh, was that it?
I think illness, like something like that.
Okay.
Like no specific.
That's what I think. Yeah.
It's not like murder.
Oh
so
no! Oh, know what I meant to say? I think last week or last episode you might have been talking about Neville's parents.
Yeah, they're brought up in this with the picture.
Yes,
Well,
they
yeah.
are in the book. We see them in the book. Because
What do you mean see them?
Like as
Because
they're
they're-
like once they're insane, we see them.
yeah, because they're not dead.
As St. Mungo's.
Yeah, same Mungos.
The
Which is like
like a sanatorium almost or something.
So
Or not
it's
a
the
hospital,
hospital.
like a
It's like a
hospital.
hospital.
Yeah.
So they're
hospital.
dead in the movies.
no.
no.
We just don't see them in the movies.
They don't tell you, but they're not dead.
Really? Because it almost to me implies that they're dead.
No,
They're
because
not.
they had I'm almost positive they had the same line where it's like his parents faced the fate
Yeah,
way
worse
worse
than
than
death.
death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
I
But
think so.
When Mr. Weasley
Like they
gets
were like
attacked,
they got the Crucio.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
We didn't even,
yeah.
we didn't even
That was
talk about that.
Bell-
Mr. Weasley
Bellatrix.
getting
Yeah,
attacked
that was
in the
Bell-
Oh, that's
Ministry
right.
of
I
Magic.
forgot about that. Yeah.
but he
Again, right under Fudge's nose, people are getting fucking assaulted.
that's when Voldemort realizes Harry and him have the connection. Like he didn't know
right because he
until-
saw that.
Yeah,
you
'cause
know,
the other
Arthur,
moment was
Arthur
like,
gets attacked, and
He
he's
thinks
like,
it's
"How
a
could he know?"
nightmare,
Yeah.
and he felt it was like real.
He
He
was,
was
Yeah.
doing it.
Like I was there, I was doing it, that kind of thing. Yeah, but so that's when the tricks start playing, and like, yeah,
And that
Oh no, sorry.
I was gonna move on. Here, guy.
No, because there's they send someone else there during the movie, but then like that's also where like Lockhart is.
St. Mungo's, the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
So like there's like a little bit callback to
Same
like a
Yeah.
couple of those.
Yeah, because Mr. Weasley's in there after that. They see Neville talking to his
Yeah,
parents.
yeah, that's
like he's
right.
sitting there with his
Mr.
parents, and
Weasley,
they're
yeah.
just like
Kinda loopy,
vegetative,
veggie,
like
yeah.
almost, yeah. Or they like talk, and they're like, I think it's like a candy wrapper one of them has that they find like fascinating. Like they're that.
Yeah, they're just calling.
Spent.
Yeah.
I forget if his grandmother's there or not, but then they see Lockhart, who's like still got severe memory loss issues, and I feel like there's somebody else.
So
I
that
just
and
can't
that's
remember.
totally cut out of the movie.
Yeah, they just don't do that. So I
Okay.
think that's like in like the town, like wherever the ministry is. I think it's like by. there.
So it sounds like there's just like a the with the book Order of the Phoenix and the movie Order of the Phoenix, there's just a lot of detail cut out.
Yeah,
not
I think they did a
necessarily
good
plot
job. I think they
lines.
did a good job. Yes, no, I think they did a good
They
job
just mold
translating
stuff
this
where they have
to.
to. Yeah.
Like I mean I love it, and it's
Yeah.
my favorite book. I think they did a good job, but yeah, some of that other stuff, it's like it was almost like ancillary stories that they didn't on the same level that they didn't include in the previous ones, where it's like, hey, well, we didn't include Hermione's spew, whatever, in the last one. Do you think this is worth including? It's like, not really.
Probably not.
You
Yeah.
don't- you
So,
can just
like,
cut that out.
Yeah. So it's like stuff like that.
There was nothing
Yeah.
majorly important cut out that you felt like that you were like they really should have put that
required to bring it to the screen.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
All right, well, that's good to
It's
hear.
very welcome in like the books and all that, but
in. No, that's good. Awesome.
obviously, you know.
Well,
you get the
gentlemen,
picture.
are we ready for some fun facts?
Indeed.
Alrighty. So the code that they use to get into the Ministry of Magic's Muggle entrance in this film, when they go into the phone booth at the beginning, is 62442, which spells out. Can you guess it? He's
Boobs?
probably looking. Yes,
62442 magic. Yeah.
you got it.
Boobs.
Magic. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of a funny one. And yes, it also does spell out boobs, but that's different. Beatrix was originally meant to be played by Helen McCrory, who was best known for her role as Polly in Peaky Blinders, but she became pregnant at the time, and the role was recast with Helena Bonham Carter.
She would have been great too.
She was later cast in a smaller role as Narcissa Malfoy,
Yep.
Draco's
Yeah.
mother.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do we see her?
Who's part of the
Seventh
reason
or
series is dead.
sixth or like 7 part 1 or 2. I know she's at the
Six.
second
She's
one.
in
She's just as
You'll
whack
see her.
as Lucius.
She's
No,
first,
she seems
No.
like much more reasonable.
She is first
Interesting.
seen. She, yes and no, but she's got a kid, like so you'll see. But she's like
What do you mean she has a kid?
like you'll see her interests just aren't the same.
Aligned.
As, like,
she
Bellatrix.
yeah.
Like where Bellatrix is batshit crazy and
Wait,
Voldemort
what's
They're
the
is-
cousins
Ash's
too,
crazy
right?
who?
is Bellatrix, right? Yes.
No,
I was talking
Lucius.
about Narcissa. What was her
You
name?
asked-
Malfoy?
Narcissa
You
and
asked
Bellatrix are
You asked if she was as
Crazy as hell.
Sorry, as crazy as Lucius.
no.
Like-
no.
Okay.
No.
No, she
Right.
seems
No.
much more caring, at least about
Well,
Malfoy.
I
No,
thought you
it's
meant
not a
Bellatrix. I was like,
supremacist,
no,
right?
no.
The
no.
number one thing about the Malfoys is they're narcissists.
Yeah.
So
True.
like even like Lucius, which you'll see eventually, like
He starts to kind of realize, yeah.
it's them first over.
Very family oriented, as
Yeah.
twisted as they
Voldemort,
are.
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of Vivaldi.
But yeah, Narcissa, you'll see her. I think it's first scene of the next movie.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
think-
Yeah,
I think
Half-Blood
right off of
Prince
that.
for some reason. No memory.
It's a little
of that.
hazy for me. I'll probably go home and watch it.
That's one I
tonight.
really.
I remember
really
Deadly
like
Hallows
that
Part
one.
1, not Half-Blood Prince.
You know, because part 1 is on TV all the
All the
time.
time.
Yeah,
All the
that
time.
and Order of the Phoenix.
All
Why
the
are those
time.
two?
Again,
always
my
on?
hypothesis is they always do the like marathons, and then the
Christmas.
like everyone's watching in the middle of the day, so
Uh-huh.
you're seeing the back half. I feel like usually more often than you're seeing.
Dude, I always
first
turn it on
couples.
when they apparate in the forest.
Yes, dude.
All
Oh,
the
same
time.
here.
And Ron
Oh, I
swears
swear.
it's
Last
not
week,
all
same
the
thing.
time.
That's
It's
so
like
true.
that scene is just
Ne-
like ooh, them falling.
Yeah.
Boom, woods. Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on. Matthew Lewis, aka Neville, ended up with a perforated eardrum as he accidentally moved his head while Helena Bonham Carter had her wand in his ear, which left him deaf in that ear for a few days. Thankfully, things sorted themselves out. Yeah,
Oh,
not
that's what
fun
it was.
stuff.
That just reminded me. Neville's wand breaks. I think in the fight, he like breaks his ankle and his wand breaks.
Something stupid like
Yeah.
that, clumsy Neville move or
He,
something.
he
like
kind of
that.
comes into his own in this movie for the, I guess for the first
Neville
time.
has
you
the
know.
glow up of
He's-
all the characters.
like
all the time.
physically.
Dude, he's in the books a ton. Like he's in the books a ton.
He's always around. He's
Yeah,
always
like you know,
involved.
because
He's like good friends with Ron and
struggling
Harry,
when
like-
they're training, and then you know he's
like when
finally
Harry
doing
wakes up
things.
from that nightmare, like of attacking.
Yeah, he's there, right?
Yeah, but Neville's the one who goes and tells McGonagall,
Right.
and then
'Cause
like
they're
that's
all-
like
There's constantly scenes in the books of like things that happen in the dorm. Like, and it's always Dean, Seamus, Ron, Neville, Harry.
mhm.
I think it's them. Might be somebody else, but they're always there for like scenes, like as filler characters or whatever. But it's
Right.
like, oh, like you know, they're just always talking about so and so was there.
she's
It's
probably
one
like,
of those
oh
guys.
wait, do we want Ron to wake to find him when he wakes up? Now we'll just throw Neville. here.
Yeah, like and
So
now
stuff like that.
do you?
You are kind of right with the Ron underutilization. I didn't really think about it.
Yeah, I
I think
just
there's
didn't
just
really
too
find that they
much going on to like unless you're really thinking about it.
I'm trying to think if Ron even had like a good story.
Even Hermione is
In the book, yeah, I mean they, fuck. I mean, all right, so they win the Quidditch Cup in the book,
Oh, really?
Is he?
and he's the goalie.
Oh, so this is when he's the goalie.
So yeah, he's the goalie and Ginny's the captain because Umbridge takes away Quidditch from Harry.
So they put that.
And
They
then
pushed
they
that to
wind
the
up-
next movie, then, right?
So then in
no.
the
I think they
in the
she
next
takes away
movie
Quidditch.
because they're doing the
No, the Ron having like Ron being a Quidditch guy,
Oh,
like a
ye-
Quidditch champion thing.
yeah, I forget what the next one because there's like the luck.
Yeah.
The liquid
I just
luck
can't,
stuff.
I can't
yeah.
remember. I know that's in the movie. I get a little twisted on Ron and Quidditch, but they in the fifth book, I'm almost positive they win. I'm all but positive that
Sure.
they win the World Cup, Quidditch Cup, not the World Cup, the House Cup, not the House Cup, Hogwarts Quidditch
Hogwarts Cup. Yeah, yeah.
a lot of cups.
And it's so
Lot of
Ron,
cups.
and that was kind of like a this is Ron's moment kind of thing. So like because he's always like his brothers are, you know, Fred and
Don't
George,
say- yeah, yeah.
hilarious, bankers, trained dragons, prefects, like all
Yeah,
that
like
stuff.
big stuff.
and
yeah.
then there's just fucking Ron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that part ties into like him being mad at Harry in the last one.
Sure.
About being like the Triwizard
Feels like he's
champion.
always- yeah, he's always kinda being
in
left
the
out.
somebody's shadow. So
Sure.
But yeah, that's Ron's big book moment. And they just
Interesting.
whack that.
Another fun little thing in this movie, we see all of the orders or Dumbledore's army's Patronuses. And in this, you can see that Hermione's Patronus is an otter, while Ron's is a Jack Russell Terrier.
Right.
Oddly
yeah.
enough, that beloved dog is actually well known for chasing otters around. Apparently,
Wait. Go back. Say that again.
Hermione's
The
thing
otter.
was an otter, and Ron's was a Jack Russell Terrier.
That's what mine is.
Really?
Is it
Yeah.
a Jack Russell or a Terrier? Like
I
can't remember. I thought his was like a shaggier than a Jack Russell. I just couldn't.
mine is a Jack
It's
Russell
obvious- it's
Terrier.
a-
I did it on. I was like, what the fuck?
Mine was like
I was
a
training
fucking.
with the army.
I don't
was
even
like,
know
the
what. It
fuck
might have
is
been like a
this?
skunk or something
Yeah.
stupid like that. I was so
I
pissed
feel like
off.
I got a fish.
I think
was
it was
like,
a
what the
ferret,
fuck?
actually.
I
Mine was a
don't-
ferret.
I don't think
I
I-
think that's what
I
it
don't
was.
think I
Probably what it-
discovered
salmon
mine
was one.
yet.
I think that's what it was. Because I remember being like, I gotta like we were texting about it. I was like, I got a fucking fish. Like I was like,
Yeah,
man,
no, I got
what
like a
wet
fucking
noodle.
ferret or something. It said, but yeah,
Stupid.
apparently they're well known for chasing otters around, which is exactly what their Patronuses are doing. If you see that, in the moment, they're like
Cute.
and they're all,
Cute.
yeah, you know, funny, fun stuff. So Molly Weasley was not an original member of the Order of the Phoenix. However, her brothers were were part of the First Order. Fabian and Gideon Pruitt.
They're
Thought that was a
not
little-
mentioned in the
yeah.
books.
They're,
Or sorry,
they're
not
mentioned in the
movies.
movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought so.
I think they both eat it. Like
Like
they
they
both
both- yeah.
got killed back in the day or something. Like a bunch of misery in Molly Weasley's family or something like that.
Interesting. So I found this other one. This was kind of interesting. I didn't see a ton of things disconfirming this or confirming it, but I thought it was an interesting one. So it's possible that the order was inspired in part by the Fabian Society, a socialist organization in the UK. This has not been confirmed by Rowling. However, there are several similarities, especially in the names of some of the lesser members. Emmeline Vance may be named for Emmeline Pankhurst. Fabian Pruitt would obviously be connected to the name Fabian Society itself. Sturgis Podmore may be connected to Frank Podmore, and Kingsley Shacklebolt to Kingsley Martin.
What a fantastic D&D name.
Kingsley Shacklebolt.
I think you said that last
Yeah,
time.
no, that's absolutely one
It
of the
just
best.
keeps ringing true. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's genuinely one of the better ones. So yeah, J.K. Rowling also provided more than 70 names for the Black family tree tapestry, complete with details on the relationships between each member. Which
You
is
can
pretty
find
interesting.
that on like Pottermore and stuff.
Yeah,
which
I was
is
seeing stuff
crazy.
like what's her name, Malfoy's mom and Bellatrix are cousins, I think, or like first
So
cousins or something like
Bellatrix
that.
is
half sister, I think,
sister.
right.
of Sirius.
No, I know, but like
no, I know. I'm
They're-
saying for like
they're
the half.
She's a
cousins.
black.
Or is it their cousin?
Right,
Sorry, is it
right,
cousin?
but-
Sorry,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
their
and
half cousin
she-
through his mom.
There's a lot of
mother.
inbreeding
Yeah.
in like the old blood families.
Okay.
It like
Yeah.
they marry cousins and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. You know, the pure blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Fucking inbreds.
Fucking inbreds. Inbreds, maybe, I don't know. So Emma Watson was apparently seriously thinking about whether or not to keep acting in the franchise after this installment, but decided to stay after considering that it would be uncomfortable to watch the movies being made with someone else as Hermione.
Oh yeah, it would. I don't think anyone would have liked that.
No, I know. I know she did get like a ton of weird shit during this.
Why?
Just there was like a countdown for when she turned 18, and like weird like she'd get weird things from like again people treating a child really weird. I think she can be kind of whatever it's her but like I do think she did she's very, I was gonna say like preachy, but that's not fair. She dealt with a lot of bullshit like growing up and like especially doing this. So I kind of do understand
she's
that.
very speak your mind. type.
That's a better way of putting it.
Yeah,
Preachy,
she's
I
a
think, is way
she's
to-
a very vocal feminist.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know recently, but she will. At one point in time, shortly after the movies, for like a good 5 or 6 years.
Sure. So Tonk's hair was originally pink in the book, obviously, but they decided to change it to purple because that was too closely associated with what's her name? By the end?
Umbridge?
Umbridge. Because she's using pink the entire time, so they were like they wanted to, I guess,
guess.
separate it. I don't think people
Okay.
would have necessarily
Yeah,
made
that's
that connection.
just the
They're
behind
never,
the
that's
they're
just
never
such a
on
w-
screen together.
Well,
you
that's
know.
like one of those like overthought things that like I feel like movie producers are looking at like
Yeah.
I think if we make her hair pink, the guys they're all idiots and will think that they're on the same team. So we should take that out.
Yeah, so she's like I forget what they call her.
Megamorphous or whatever?
Something morph where like
I was
she can
wondering,
change her
what she was
features
like.
and stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
Like yeah,
I think she
Hair
can
color
change her
thing.
hair color.
yeah. 'Cause
They-
she does it when
Her
she
hair
gets
Yeah,
mad.
she
gets
does change
changed
it.
in the movie.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't call me Nymphadora.
Nymphadora.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one, gentlemen. The Department of Mysteries was the first completely computer-generated set used in the franchise. Building the set practically was too expensive, since an estimated 15,000 crystal balls would have been needed,
Yeah.
and it would have taken a lot of time
And
to
it's
clean
fucking dark.
and set them up in between takes. Yeah, you don't
It's
need
like
that.
they're you only see like right where they are and
No,
nowhere else.
it's funny. Like I would have assumed that was pretty heavy CGI, but I don't necessarily think I would have been like, that's an entirely CGI set. So that's pretty good.
I
I'll
love
give
when
them.
they're
The dark
they got the
does-
light.
it
on
It does
their-
help it a
the
lot
light
for
on
sure.
their wand and they're walking through that. It's really cool.
Yes,
Good
it's-
stuff.
That's
Great
the
aesthetic.
best tool for VFX.
For sure,
Artists is
darkness.
dark.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
You
All
can
right,
just hide- you
gentlemen.
can just hide shit.
For sure, absolutely. I mean, Corridor Crew talks about that all the time. I
Yeah.
feel like it's so true. Something you don't even think about really either. But gentlemen, that wraps us up for our fun facts. Now we get to the fun part, the rankings. As of now, it is number 1, Prisoner of Azkaban. Number 2, Goblet of Fire. Number 3, Chamber of Secrets, and number 4 is Mr. Sorcerer's Stone. Actual title.
Before we rank, you want a high tier, low tier,
Oh, sure, yeah.
forget what order
Gooch, start us
we
off.
low tier film.
Low tier film.
High tier movie still. That's just kind of like the
just none of these are my interpretation of film. None of these are going to be. They're all part of a.
See, I guess
a movie franchise.
Like it's like
not film.
For one of them to reach the it's
it's
just
funny.
how I feel.
That's not even necessarily how I think about film. Like I get like. I film in the in that sense. That's not even how I guess I'm thinking about the way I use this ranking system. I'm like, is it a really good movie that I enjoy? No, it's a film to a degree, but I don't know. I think I'm with them.
I think it's kind of both.
I think it's a low tier. I'd say a low tier film.
Okay.
I would say a low tier film.
I'll give that like a praise thing though. Like,
For sure.
That's a good. Is a low tier film better than a high tier movie in your opinion?
I think. See,
yes,
so
a low tier film is better than a high tier movie. Yes.
You don't think
Well,
that a film and a
in this
movie
ranking, I'll put it in the
separate,
film
like, you can have
territory, but I
Yeah,
don't think
the
it's
idea
see
is-
again. That's
is
what
that
like
it's
I
the
guess
tier
it's
high.
like
think-
I'm thinking more of it as a specific.
literally
like,
it's a film, but
Yeah, well, flick is the lowest, film is the highest.
Because there are definitely
movie's the
flicks
middle.
I like
it's
more
still
than
a flick.
films.
Actually, also it's a flick. It's a movie. And
Well,
it's a
thanks,
film.
Penza.
There are
Well, so I think that's the thing. I think you're right. I think of it more as they stand side by side in the way of
it's a bucket.
it could be either one of those three.
Yeah.
And if it's a film, then that's just
Yeah.
the amount of quality that I felt has been
Yeah.
put into that film.
Yep.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So
Because
yeah,
like Pineapple Express is like a flick.
Sure.
Or a movie. It's not a film, but it's one of my favorite flicks or movies
Sure.
of all time.
Sure. Pineapple Express could never be a film.
Almost every Adam
How about-
Sandler
I think it'd be a movie.
What about Blair Witch Project?
I hate that movie so much.
that might
It
fall in
depends.
the film.
It
because
could be
of
a film.
Like,
Yeah, but
like a
it's-
taste.
All right, we're
but I
gonna-
don't
It could
know.
be, but it's also could be a
We're
flick.
gonna coming soon an entire podcast about this ranking system. We will give you everything.
Returns.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
it
will.
comes
But yeah, so that's where we're at.
So wait, who fell where? It was
High tier film
low-
or
low
no, I'm
tier
sorry, low tier
films,
film,
high tier movies for the two of us.
high tier movie,
I mean,
low tier film.
Yes, but in this ranking system,
The way I'm
I
talking.
Don't
would,
think about
I
it
would
too
put
hard.
it.
Yeah,
in
we're
I
getting
would
too
put
deep
it in
into
the-
this.
You're
I
getting
would
too
put it in the
deep.
film territory.
I
but
think it's in the film. I do.
You're getting too deep.
You guys ready to vote on this ranking?
Yes.
So do we? Who thinks it's better than the Sorcerer's Stone?
number one.
Who
Keep-
thinks
keep
it's better
up,
than
guys.
Chamber of Secrets?
Keep 'em up. Keep
Who
'em
thinks it's better than Goblet of Fire?
You should have started.
Who
with
thinks
Prisoner
it's
of
better
Azkaban.
than Prisoner of Azkaban? No,
Well,
well,
that
when
was
it's something as easy as this, sure, but I do think it's best every time we go
as
from
you
the bottom.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
New
think
ranking.
I think 6 is going to be a discussion. Like
I agree.
At what people think of
Yeah.
what.
Every ranking has been pretty easy. I think we like. I think some of them like.
I think the last one was the first one to get. We had a bit of disagreement
Rock
on.
the boat.
I would-
Right.
Not an entire.
I would be surprised if any of the final 4 movies from Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Part 1 and 2, all are outside the top 4. When it's all said and done.
Yeah. I agree.
I
It
have
just depends on
high
where.
thoughts of Half Blood Prince. So I don't know. I'm very curious.
Half-Blood Prince, I
I'm
think,
excited
is
to
already gonna
rewatch.
be
I'm
up
gonna
there.
watch it.
Is that the shortest
2
one?
days.
I'm
God damn it.
fairly
Did you
confident
yeah.
it's this one. Here, shortest Harry
I don't think it's this
Potter
one.
film, not Gilm. Film.
It feels like they put. God damn it! I can't read the 6th book by next week. I was gonna say I might have to just do that.
I'm just gonna read it
There's
on
so-
one night.
Oh, the last one, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
How long is it?
It's like 218 or something like that.
And I guess that makes sense
I was
because
like,
they are
don't be
splitting.
sub 2. That always disappoints me.
212 or
Sub
something
2
like
is
that.
always disappointing.
low
The last one, Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. It makes sense since.
Ironically, the second shortest movie is the second shortest movie. So Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, at least as far as Sophia Salazar says on Quora.
Well, guys, Sophia Salazar, we thank you for that fun fact. Thank you for watching or listening on youtube.com/Delco Network or on podcast services, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever. We are on it. You can find us over on Facebook.com/Delco Network, at Delco Nerds, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
All the socials.
All the socials, yeah.
Everywhere.
You can join our Discord as in the description, as well as in our site, www.delconerd.com, where the rest of this information can also be found. And, of course, if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, things for the good of the group, delconerds@gmail.com. I did want to shout out, I forget. Somebody commented on our Chamber of Secrets video and mentioned that Rupert Grint has been in the Philadelphia area for the last 4 years doing that M. Night Shyamalan series. And I
wow.
didn't know that. And I think we were talking about we were talking about the careers of the three, and we mentioned that Rupert Grint wasn't
Like too lively
in
anymore.
law,
Yeah.
but he is right. He
Interesting.
is in that.
I didn't even know M. Night Shyamalan had a
Series coming out. Yeah.
It's
The
I think
Servant.
Is it the
Is
first? Is it
one.
the first?
Did it get
Servant.
released recently?
Yes.
yeah. It's
Is it-
I feel like I do remember
it's
seeing
Is
it.
it the
Apple
first
TV.
season?
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't think.
Oh,
and he was at Manila's
I don't
Diner
think.
on Route 30 in Wayne.
I could be wrong.
Somebody took a picture of him. I saw this in the last like 2 months.
Is that
Marinelli's whenever
or
I go-
Manila's?
Manila's.
yeah.
Whenever I go up to my aunt's
Right
house,
there.
Is there
past
Marinelli's
Villanova.
too? I feel like I'm remembering. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm probably misremembering.
The Happening, that great M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Mark
There's a
Wahlberg?
diner where they all rush out of, like in the middle of the movie. I pass by it every time I go to my aunt's house. And I'm like, that's from that terrible movie. Really bad movie.
Anyway, for Trio, Penza, Casey, and of course, my name is Gooch. Thank you for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we'll see you next time.
Harry Potter. I'm about to get up.